Why you should eat dark chocolate. Every day, after 60. If you are over 60 and avoiding chocolate because your doctor told you it is bad for your heart, you have been lied to. The truth is, there is one specific type of chocolate that can actually unclog your arteries, lower your blood pressure, and sharpen your memory. But here's the catch. It has to be the right kind, and most people are eating the wrong one, which is making things worse. I am going to show you exactly which chocolate to buy, how much to eat, and why the 70% rule could save your life. No gimmicks, no confusion, just science-backed facts that work. The number one mistake people over 60 make with chocolate is buying milk chocolate, thinking it is a treat that will not hurt them. But milk chocolate is loaded with sugar, and sugar is one of the worst things you can put in your body if you want to keep your arteries clean. 2 squares of milk chocolate can spike your blood sugar as much as a candy bar, and when your glucose spikes, it creates inflammation in your arteries. That inflammation causes plaque to stick like glue, clogging your blood vessels and raising your risk of heart attack and stroke. So if you have been eating milk chocolate thinking it is harmless, stop right now. It is doing more damage than good. But here's the good news. Dark chocolate, the real stuff with at least 70% cocoa, is a completely different story. Dark chocolate is packed with something called flavonoids. Flavonoids are powerful plant compounds that tell your arteries to relax and open up. When your arteries relax, your blood pressure drops naturally, and your heart does not have to work as hard to pump blood through your body. This is huge for anyone over 60, because as we age, our arteries naturally get stiffer, and that stiffness is what drives up blood pressure. Dark chocolate helps reverse that process. Now, before we go any further, I want to ask you something. What city and country are you watching this video from? Drop it in the comments below. I love hearing from you and knowing where my community is tuning in from. It helps me create better content for you. All right, let us talk about how dark chocolate actually works in your body. The secret weapon in dark chocolate is something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that your body produces naturally, and it is responsible for something called vasodilation. Vasodilation is just a fancy word for when your blood vessels open up and allow blood to flow freely. When you eat dark chocolate, the flavonoids in it boost your nitric oxide levels, which causes your arteries to relax and widen. This means better blood flow, more oxygen getting to your tissues, and less strain on your heart. But nitric oxide does not just help your heart, it also helps your brain. As we age, blood flow to the brain naturally decreases, and that is one of the main reasons why memory starts to slip. You know those senior moments where you walk into a room and forget why you are there? That is often a sign that your brain is not getting enough blood flow. Dark chocolate helps fix that problem. Studies have shown that people who eat dark chocolate regularly have better memory, faster processing speed, and sharper focus compared to people who do not eat it. So if you want to keep your mind sharp as you age, dark chocolate is one of the best tools you have. Now, here is where most people mess up. They hear that dark chocolate is good for them, so they go to the store and grab any bar that says dark chocolate on the label. But not all dark chocolate is created equal. This is where the 70% rule comes in. You need to look for chocolate that has at least 70% cocoa. Anything less than that, and you are basically eating sugar with a little bit of cocoa mixed in. The higher the cocoa percentage, the more flavonoids you get, and the more benefits you will see. I personally go for 85%. Or even 90% cocoa because it has almost no sugar and all the good stuff. Yes, it is bitter at first, but your taste buds will adjust, and eventually you will start to crave that rich, deep chocolate flavor. So how much should you eat? You do not need a lot. Just 1 to 2 squares per day, which is about 20 to 30 grams, is enough to get the benefits. That is it. You are not eating a whole bar. You are eating just enough to boost your nitric oxide levels, lower your blood pressure, and improve your blood flow. Think of it as medicine, not dessert. And here's a pro tip. Eat your dark chocolate after your biggest meal of the day. This helps slow down the absorption of sugar if there is any in the chocolate. And it also makes it feel like a satisfying end to your meal instead of a random snack. Now let me tell you what to avoid. If you're going to eat dark chocolate, do not pair it with milk. Milk blocks the absorption of flavonoids, so you lose all the benefits. Do not drink a glass of milk with your chocolate. Do not eat milk chocolate, and do not buy dark chocolate that has milk added to it. Read the ingredients. If it says milk powder or milk solids, put it back on the shelf. You want pure dark chocolate with cocoa, cocoa butter, and maybe a little bit of natural sweetener like stevia. That is it. Another thing to watch out for is cheap dark chocolate. A lot of brands at the grocery store cut their chocolate with junk ingredients to save money. They add vegetable oils, artificial flavors, and way too much sugar. You want to find a brand that is organic, fair trade, and has a short ingredient list. If you see a bunch of ingredients you cannot pronounce, that is a red flag. Stick with the basics: cocoa, cocoa butter, and a natural sweetener if needed. Now, let me break down the other benefits of dark chocolate that most people do not know about. First, it helps lower your LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol that clogs your arteries. At the same time, it raises your HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol that sweeps out plaque and keeps your arteries clean. You want your HDL above 70, and eating dark chocolate regularly can help you get there. Second, dark chocolate is loaded with antioxidants. In fact, it has more antioxidants than blueberries, which most people think are the king of antioxidants. These antioxidants fight inflammation and protect your cells from damage. Third, dark chocolate contains a compound called theobromine, which gives you a gentle energy boost without the jitters you get from coffee. It is perfect for people who want a little pick-me-up in the afternoon without crashing later. But here's the thing. Dark chocolate is not a magic bullet. You cannot eat donuts for breakfast, pizza for lunch, and then have 2 squares of dark chocolate and expect to be healthy. Dark chocolate works best when it is part of an overall healthy diet. That means eating plenty of healthy fats like avocados and olive oil, quality protein like wild-caught salmon and grass-fed beef, and lots of vegetables. When you combine dark chocolate with these other foods, that is when you see the real magic happen. Your triglycerides drop, your HDL goes up, your blood pressure comes down, and you start to feel better than you have in years. So let me give you a simple action plan. Tonight, after dinner, have 1 or 2 squares of dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa. Do this every day for the next 30 days and see how you feel. I bet you will notice better energy, better focus, and maybe even better numbers on your next blood test. And if you want to take it to the next level, pair your dark chocolate with a handful of raw walnuts. Walnuts are rich in something called arginine, which also boosts nitric oxide levels. So you are getting a double dose of artery opening, blood pressure lowering goodness. Now, before we wrap up, let me address a common question. Some people ask, what about white chocolate? Is that good for me? The answer is no. White chocolate is not even real chocolate. It is just sugar, milk, and cocoa butter with no cocoa solids. That means it has 0 flavonoids and 0 health benefits. It is basically candy, so skip the white chocolate completely. Stick with the dark stuff. All right, let me give you the bottom line. If you are over 60 and you want to protect your heart, lower your blood pressure, and keep your brain sharp, dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa is one of the best foods you can eat. Just 1 to 2 squares per day is enough to make a real difference. Make sure you are buying high-quality chocolate with a short ingredient list and no milk. And remember, this is not a dessert. It is a tool. Treat it like medicine and use it wisely. Everything I shared today is for educational purposes only. This information is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. Please consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet or adding new ingredients to your routine, especially if you're taking medications or have any health conditions. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more health tips. Drop a comment below and let me know what percentage of dark chocolate you prefer. Are you a 70% person, or do you go all the way up to 90%? I would love to hear from you. See you in the next video.